Howdy, my darling Gemini. We're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading today for January 2023. We're going to be talking about what's manifesting for you, what's going on in your current life, Gemini, as well as we're going to be doing a relationship tarot reading for you as well. And then we're going to end your reading today, Gemini, with messages from your spirit guides and your ancestors with an oracle reading at the very end, which is my personal favorite. So if that sounds good to you, Gemini, keep on watching, honey. Alrighty, my beautiful Gemini. So let's get into your tarot reading today. I'm looking at your cards that we have laid out for you. I'm really loving what's going on here, Gemini. You have a lot of movement going on in your life, and I feel like this is exactly what it is that you have been needing. Your prayers are being answered is what I'm seeing here. So let's just begin your tarot reading with, firstly, the back of the deck energy being the Knight of Pentacles here, Gemini. All right. So the first thing I always say when I see this Knight of Pentacles is I like to remind people of the tortoise and the hare, Gemini. And so what that really means is this sense of where I feel like you are the tortoise, where it's like the Knight of Pentacles, they are the slowest moving knight, Gemini, but they eventually get to their destination. All right. And once they get to their destination, they get the most profit, like they get the most out of the journey here, Gemini. And so it's like for you, I want you to remind yourself in that where it's like you're not a weed, all right? Weeds grow quickly overnight. You are a avocado tree. You are a fruit tree, Gemini. So what that means is it takes a little bit of a longer period for you to grow and for you to bear fruit. But you know, by the time you finish the growing process, you're going to be able to grow fruit, whereas weeds are just weeds and they end up getting cut down anyways. All right. So I feel like that's what your story is right now, Gemini. I really also want to really affirm you in your path currently. High Priestess with the Nine of Cups here. This really lets me know, Gemini, that you are very in tune with what it is that you need to do with your life. All right. And so I don't know if you recently had like a tarot reading that made you feel really bad about yourself, and that, you know, or maybe you're talking to people or something happened in your life, Gemini, that made you just feel bad about how you're handling your life currently. And maybe it's just because you're just stressed out, but like give yourself your flowers, Gemini. All right. You really are handling life so beautifully, and you know what it is that you need to do. All right. You are listening to your body. You're listening to your intuition here. And so don't rush the process here. Don't psych yourself out because you're comparing your journey to somebody else's journey. All right. That is going to be the biggest competitor for you here, Gemini, is that if you start comparing your journey to someone else's journey, you're going to psych yourself out as the Knight of Pentacles. You're going to forget that you are the Knight of Pentacles. And so it's like, don't rush the process any, Gemini. All right. Continue doing what it is that you're doing, because you're about to, I do see in the next week or two, you're about to be receiving some really positive, affirming news, or something really affirming is going to be happening in your life in the next couple of weeks, Gemini, that really confirms to you what I have been saying right now, in the sense of like, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. All right. And so just stick with the process a little bit longer. Don't give up quite yet, and don't be too frustrated, and don't be too hard on yourself, Gemini. All right. So let's get into your general tarot reading today. We have the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Swords here, and then the Seven of Wands, Gemini. So first things first for you, my darling. All right. Again, I feel like for you right now, this is who you are, Gemini. You're really in your thoughts. The Nine of Swords is the sleepless nights, anxiety, stressing out over things in your life and how things could be or might be. All right. And what I want to be telling you, Gemini, is that everything is going to be okay. And I wouldn't just be saying it just to say it, Gemini, just because your other cards confirm this as well. You have the Seven of Wands here. I feel like part of the reason why you might be psyching yourself out is just because of like, it's almost as if like you have something to prove to other people, or like there's certain people in your life that are just like low key praying for your downfall. And you're kind of aware that you're like, there's certain people in your life that are like trying to like watch you fail, Gemini, and you're not going to fail. Again, it is this sense of where it's like you might be feeling as if everyone's like rooting against you. You might be feeling as if like you're, you know, again, because you're not moving as quick as the hare, that you're not going to win the race, but you actually are going to win the race. Just don't psych yourself out from outside noises, Gemini. All right. You are really a lot more in control of your life than you realize. Eight of Wands is the card of quick success and fast forward movement. I have a sneeze coming on, so if you notice me making a weird face, that's why, Gemini. But with this Eight of Wands coming in here, like things are about to be speeding up for you. All right. Don't give up on your journey quite yet here. What it is that you're feeling anxious about currently with that Nine of Swords, you're going to be feeling so silly later on down the road, because it's like everything's going to be just really finding its way. All right. Even afterwards, we have in the back of the deck Girl, I guess we're not taking the back of the deck energy because I just had a bunch of cards just fly out everywhere. So we're going to just shuffle to clarify these cards here. So we're not going to address that Knight of Swords because it's almost like your spirit guides are just like, nah, Velka, don't even talk about that back of the deck energy. So let's start clarifying this Nine of Swords firstly. The Sun card coming in here. Yeah, you're really just worried about if everything's going to be working out ultimately, Gemini, right? You're not really asking for much. You're like, you just want things to calm down. You just want things like you're hoping for positive news coming in. All right. And again, I really do feel like that's going to be happening for you here. King of Wands coming in here as well. I won't be surprised if you get some outside help in the coming days, Gemini. All right. I really do feel as if for you, you are inspiring people a lot more than what you realize. And I feel like you have more people rooting on your team, like rooting for you and are on your side than you're aware of, Gemini. All right. You are not alone in this journey. All right. Clarifying your Seven of Wands here. We have the Tower card, girl, and then the Five of Wands coming in here. All right, so yeah, definitely Gemini, you definitely have some people that are like waiting for you to fail, waiting for you to mess up here. And I feel like you're very aware about it here, but don't psych yourself out about it. Put this in perspective, Gemini. What kind of weirdo, what kind of lame person is just actively watching somebody else, hoping that they fail, hoping that they don't have things work out in their life when you're just simply trying to do your best? Any person that is like that is just weird. Like, and I'm not sorry to say that. It's like, you're just a weird person if you are actively just wanting someone to fail in their life when it has no bearing on you, right? That really just showcases how pathetic they are. All right. So, well, I do understand on a personal level where it's just like you want to prove it to them, but to just make them irrelevant in your life. You know, I always say in the best way, the best analogy that I can make is like, would you feel bad about yourself when you're going to Walmart or shopping at Target and some homeless person that is hopped up on drugs yells at you and says that you're a failure at life and that you're ugly? Most of the time you're probably going to be saying, no, Velka, I wouldn't care, because look at where they are and look at where you are. Like, you consider the source, right? And so that's what I want you to be doing in your life right now, is like, consider the source of who it is passing judgment on you, because when you consider the source, you realize you actually don't respect them as a person anyway, so they're irrelevant. And then clarifying your Eight of Wands, we have the Empress card coming in here with the Four of Wands. All right, you're going to get to your destination, Gemini. All right, you've been building a lot of character, whatever it is that you have been going through. What you've been, I feel like it's mainly just stress, Gemini. It's really helping shape who you are going to be in the future here. You're not going to crack under this pressure, even though you might be feeling like you're pretty close to cracking. You absolutely are not going to crack under this pressure here. So keep your head above water, darling. You're doing more than just fine. All right, Gemini. So let's get into your relationship reading now, platonic wise or romantic. You have the 2 and the 8 of Pentacles coming in here, Gemini, and then the Judgment card. And so right off the bat for you, Gemini, I feel like people are going to be, how do I want to put this, Gemini? I feel like your spiritual team is really going to be calling out certain people in your life that have been like giving you like the evil eye. You know, I feel like as you continue improving in your life, like spirit is going to take it upon themselves to really take care of the certain people in your life that you have been juggling that are just not worth it. It's almost as if they're going to be replacing these people in your life for better quality of that. So let's just say that you're in a romantic relationship that really just has you feeling down about yourself. I feel like you're going to be quickly replacing this person with someone much better for you. Like, there's definitely, it reads off to me, Gemini, like your spiritual team is like, someone on your spiritual team is extremely unhappy with someone that you are allowing in your life, because they're just sitting there just like, Gemini deserves so much better than what it is that they're currently receiving from this person here. All right, I'm going to pull a couple of cards clarifying all this just to make sure. Emperor card in the reverse, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, Gemini, this is a straight up message here where it's just like, if you don't take care of it, your spiritual team is going to make sure take care of it themselves here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like someone in your family. This is definitely someone who you share meals with. Gemini, or you have shared a meal with, and it's definitely like you're dealing with somebody that is just very much so insecure, has an ego issue, and so it's like by you being successful and growing in your life, this person is just threatened by that, and they don't want to like self-reflect. And so your spiritual team, Gemini, are really going to be exposing this person and removing them from your life here. All right, so really interesting cards that we got there at the end, Gemini. So I say all that to say, darling, let's get into your oracle reading for today so I can let you go and have you enjoy the rest of your Thursday, Gemini. We're going to get into your oracle reading and see what your messages from your spirit guides and ancestors are, darling. All right. Starting out with this card right here, which is the Sandpiper Spirit, number 6 in numerology, Gemini. So write that number down, see what messages that has for you in correlation to this week. This card says, be playful. All right, be playful. Let's clarify this with the 4 of Swords coming in here, and then the 5 of Pentacles. Now, these 2 cards did come in inverted here for you, Gemini. All right. So I do feel like for you, it's been really hard for you to build your self-esteem, Gemini, because of, again, like I feel like it's due to your environment. I feel like you have been in fight or flight mode for quite some time here, and so it's been really hard for you to heal. It's been really hard for you just in general for you to build your confidence here, and so easier said than done, but your spiritual team really wants you to stop taking life so seriously. And it's a lot easier to not take life so seriously when you don't have a bunch of things weighing heavy on your chest. But, you know, that's why your spiritual team is getting involved with that Judgment card, because they're going to help relieve some of this pressure so that you can start enjoying life again. All right. And so, Gemini, let's end your tarot reading today with your Oracle, Moon Oracle card. All right. And by the way, Gemini, I just put out a podcast, a spiritual podcast. Check it out down below in the comments if you want to see it. So your Moon Oracle card today is New Moon in Virgo. Trust all will be well. All right. Very much so, to the point. Pretty much exactly what it is I have been saying this entire time, Gemini. So I really don't feel like I need to get into too much detail about this, right? I feel like you get the point, Gemini. So that is the weekly tarot reading that I have for you today, darling. Hopefully something in here resonated, and I'll connect you sometime in the near future. Bye, darling.